Monday's Better in Green live. I am here with Ethan. Ethan, I know me and you had a tough week. We had a tough week in sports. I know I was getting wrecked in college basketball. Yeah, just all over the place getting wrecked. Excited for March to be over. Excited to have a new month. I know we're both on Picket sometimes, and just there's nothing worse than seeing that calendar page and seeing. I think I went down like 24 units. I tried to chase on the final day. I think I lost another 5. So yeah, it's nice to just throw March. It's gone. I don't want to look at March anymore. I'm excited for April. I know you were kind of in the same boat, but how are you? How are you looking at this new month? Happy April Fools, by the way. They didn't understand my video today of shitting on Zach Edey. People are morons, but April Fools. But yeah, sorry. How are you?
Yeah. A tough week is putting it lightly. It was a terrible month, extremely tough month. I was down. I think I got like a unit back yesterday, so I think I ended up going down like 19 and a half units in March. And both of us do some offshore betting too that doesn't get tracked by Pickett, but I went back and looked at last year. My worst month was down 2.6 units last year. So just an abysmal month for me. I mean, I haven't had one like it in over a year. So it was awful. Like you said, can't be happier that is behind us. I'm honestly just kind of over all the sports leagues that are winding down. I'm over college basketball. It's just been such a rough stretch that I just want to cash in on UConn or Purdue to win the championship and be done with it. I'm kind of over the NBA regular season. I'm excited for playoffs. I'll get back involved then. I'm over the NHL regular season. I'm just kind of done with it. Love that baseball's back. Love the UFL. Doing pretty well in NASCAR right now. So I don't know. Those are kind of my bread and butter sports at this point.
Yeah, only 3 college basketball games left. Again, I've been getting wrecked. I was destroying my bracket, and then all of a sudden, Houston lost and Duke lost. So now I need, in order to win my one paid bracket, I need Alabama to beat UConn, which just let's be honest is probably not happening, and I need NC State to beat Purdue. If those 2 things happen, I win. If either one of those things doesn't happen, I lose. So it's unfortunate. I was looking so good. And then a couple upsets, and yeah, it sucks. But yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I honestly, I have one bet today. I only have a half a unit literally in my betting accounts right now. I've just been wiped clean. I've been absolutely wiped clean. So trying to come back to reality a little bit. Again, a bad month. It was my first losing month in 2024. But my first 2 months were up like 1 unit and up like a 1.5 units and then down 20 something units. So I'm down and it sucks. So a little reality check. I have been door dashing. So I've been out and about because I'm broke. So yeah, it's a new mindset heading into April. Probably going to start a little slow, at least until I pay my bookie tomorrow and get more money to work with. But probably going to start slow and try to different strategies, limit the parlays, limit the riskier plays, and just kind of take smaller unit, spreads and over-unders. But baseball opening weekend we just had. I actually enjoyed it. I was pretty focused on college basketball, but a couple good baseball games. Tigers are a gritty little team there. Seems like the only Detroit team that is not gritty is the Pistons, so we could just get rid of them. Baseball is pretty fun. I'm having a good time fading the Oakland A's. I'm excited to talk tonight's slate. Do you want to get into the plays or do you have anything else to add here?
No, not much. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first few days of baseball. Obviously, Tigers going 3-0, getting that opening series sweep was super cool. Hopefully, they can keep it going. Their schedule is actually pretty easy. Here we have the Mets are the next series, and then is it Oakland? I think is the series. Yeah, then it's the Athletics after them. So I don't know. I mean, might be the first team to 10 wins. You could have bet it. That would have been an insane bet to bet the Tigers first team to 10. It's doable. So yeah, fun times so far. Won't get too over my head, but
it's they're looking okay. They're a gritty little team. I said I think they came back 2 out of those 3 wins. So I liked how I liked how they're playing. I forgot to mention, we do have a pretty big college basketball game tonight in women's college basketball. We do have a rematch of in your face, whatever her name is, LSU against Caitlin Clark. I do have one of my plays in that game. And with that, I'm just going to go into that play. Again, I only have a half unit on the line tonight because that's all that I have left in my betting accounts. But if I were to bet this game, I know I would fade I would fade Iowa. It seems so obvious to take Iowa. I think LSU is the overall better team. Since I'm not betting this game, I'm taking Iowa. It's so obvious. It's the most obvious bet. I'm seeing massive public on Iowa. LSU is by far the better team. They have the better athletes. The only person Iowa has is Caitlin Clark, who's probably the best player in college basketball. But LSU has 5 players that can play. I think Iowa maybe has 2. Free my boy Edie. Free him from the tournament from Bet in the comments. Yeah, seriously, get Edie out. But since I'm not betting it, I'm going to take Iowa. I'm going to take the public side. If I were to have money on this game, I would be taking LSU, and I know I was going to lose. So risk-free, Iowa women's basketball -2 tonight. I'm just going to take a money line spread. Money line.
Yeah, I like it. I was looking at that game. I mean, Iowa does have the revenge factor, and Ben bringing up Edie. Caitlin Clark is the Zach Edey of women's basketball. Are they going to let her lose? I don't think so. Don't think so. So, yeah, I would lean Iowa there. One thing I will disagree with, I don't think Caitlin Clark's the best women's basketball player. I think she plays for UConn. I still think it's Paige Beckers, and I'm going to use UConn as one of my plays, -3.5. Yeah, Paige Beckers before her injury, I think 2 years ago maybe. I don't follow super closely, but I mean, she was the Caitlin Clark. She was the all-star before ESPN, SportsCenter, all the woke sports media shoved women's basketball in your face. She was the girl. She gets overshadowed now by Caitlin Clark, but I still think Paige is probably an overall just better basketball player, better athlete. Caitlin Clark shoots 1,000 times. She makes 300 of them, like not even 250. She shoots way more. She scores more because she's a high volume shooter. But yeah, I think Paige Beckers is probably the better player. Again, I don't really follow college basketball that well, so take it with a grain of salt. But also, you have UConn as a 3 seed playing USC, the 1 seed. UConn is a 3.5 point favorite. Something's fishy. In college basketball, there's not a ton of upsets. I know UConn's a powerhouse in women's basketball. Yeah, I think the line's fishy. I think Beckers and UConn is kind of just overshadowed at this point by Caitlin Clark. Kind of think UConn goes on and wins the championship there for both schools. But yeah, I'll take UConn -3.5. Don't know if I'm betting that.
Ben, Angel Reese already signed her Max Pro contract. Next message, Waffle House $9.50 an hour. They are signing a new thing to get that up to $25 per hour for minimum wage. If that's the case, I am going to the closest McDonald's and trying to get a job. But yeah, I hate Angel Reese. I really don't like Caitlin Clark. I'm in a weird situation there for that game. Also, I like UConn quite a bit to add on to your pick. Don't get freaked out. I know it's a pretty big thing on Twitter right now in women's basketball. Don't get freaked out when you see that the favorites are like, I don't know the exact number. They're like 48-6 straight up, but they're like 40% on the spread. Don't get freaked out about that spread thing. It's only because in the first and second rounds, South Carolina was -55 in round 1, and they did not cover. So like these spreads are outlandish. That's the reason these favorites are not covering, but they are winning every single game. So if you're a little cautious about taking the favorites on the spread, in my opinion, in my small little analysis of women's basketball, you should be good to go now that all the BS 16 seeds and even the 8 seeds are out of the window or out of the tournament. So yeah, I like UConn quite a bit. I think people get caught up in women's basketball of, just the seeds. My friend every single year, and he does pretty well in his women's bracket, but this takes every single number seed favorite. And yeah, and it's always like 90th percentile. But how many people are going to have USC, just because of that 1 seed? So I do like UConn quite a bit. If my 7 p.m. bet does end, I might have a dabble on that UConn play. I'm going to go for my second bet. Zero analysis. I'm doing this the entire year. Boston Red Sox -1.5 on the run line against the Oakland A's, fading Oakland every single game. It's 3-1. Oakland won on yesterday on Sunday to put it to 3-1 record on the year, but going to continue it. I think Boston will get it done. They are on the road, but it's Oakland. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take Boston on the run line -1.5. I think it's like a 10 p.m. game tonight against Oakland A's.
Yep, like that too. Couple teams you can just fade in baseball, and a couple teams you can just play on in baseball. And I think you're going to be pretty profitable. Oakland, obviously, the number one fade team there. I'll follow you to baseball here. I'm going to play the Yankees money line -120. I know they're 4-0. They're getting looked at as, kind of a big team, but Arizona's actually the public side in this game. I've been looking to fade Arizona this year. They started out 3-1. However, they played the Rockies. So I'm not impressed by the fact that they went 3-1 against the Rockies. I mean, honestly, they probably should have swept them. Put up a lot of runs in those wins. They do have the most runs in Major League Baseball this year, outside of the Padres and Dodgers, who played those early games in Japan or wherever they played. But as far as the teams that just started playing this week, they do have the most runs, but obviously part of that was their 16-run first game of the season. But yeah, I think I want to fade Arizona. The Yankees went 4-0, swept Houston in Houston. The Yankees always start strong and kind of collapse throughout the year. I think I'm kind of looking to fade Arizona this year. I think Yankees are a play on right now. The Yankees have the better resume right now, going 4-0 at Houston compared to, like I said, Arizona 3-1 at home against the Rockies. Public is on Arizona. Have not bet that yet, but that is my one play that I will for sure be betting tonight.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit, to be honest. I actually kind of wanted to fade the Yankees all season too, with the signing of Juan Soto, RIP, my boy. I just thought, the Yankees are always one of the more public teams. Them and the Dodgers are just the most public team. And last year, the Yankees collapsed, and I was kind of wanting to fade them this year, but a 4-0 start against the Astros is pretty impressive. But like you said, it kind of happens with the Yankees every year. I think if you keep waiting and maybe take Yankees to not make the playoffs a couple later in the season a little bit, you could probably get a better price on that. But I like them over the D-backs. I think the D-backs are going to be a big fade team for me this year. My final play is going to be in the NHL. Sorry, Asker. What is the best year you guys have ever experienced? Best year? Oof. That's a great question. I would say either senior year of high school, so 2014, or I would say like 2017, 2018. It's like junior, senior year in college will probably be my favorites.
Yeah, I'd say probably like, God, I have a few, like 09 or 2010 or 2011, somewhere in there. That was like freshman, sophomore, junior of high school. And I'd probably either say either one of those years, or 2014 was my freshman year of college, or maybe 2017, 18, somewhere in there.
Whatever year it is now, not that year, Asker.
Not 2020.
Not 2020, not 2021.
No.
2024 is not off to a great start.
No.
But yeah, probably one of those teen years for me. My final play is going to be in the NHL. I'm taking the Winnipeg Jets on the money line against the LA Kings. I bet the LA Kings, and I think you did as well this weekend. I have never seen a team play worse hockey in my life. They had 9 shots on goal through 50 minutes of game time. I've never seen guys they weren't shooting. I don't know. It was whatever. The Jets are the much better team. I'm taking them on the money line. They're only a -120 favorite, -125 favorite. They are at LA. I don't really care. Jets, I think, are going to blow them out the water. Give me Winnipeg. If you want to take the under as well, I like that. But I'm going to take the Jets money line tonight in the NHL.
Yep. I have a future on the Kings to win the Stanley Cup. I hate it. I took it right before January, where they won 2 or 3 games that whole month. You can get it way better than what I have it at now. But yeah, I like that. I actually was going to give out the under in that game, as you just mentioned, but I have not given hockey or the NBA the time of day here in the last 7 to 10 days. So I'm not going to force a play there. I'm going to stick to baseball, the sport that I've been paying the most attention to as of late. And I'm going to go with the Cardinals money line. It's gross. They're playing in San Diego against the Padres. The line to me just doesn't make any sense. They're minus 110. I saw both teams' team total is set at 3.5 to go over. St. Louis was minus 140. San Diego was minus 135. So they're kind of telling you they think St. Louis might score more. Yeah, it really doesn't make a ton of sense to me with the lines being so close because I think the Padres are going to be a playoff contender at least. I think the Cardinals are going to be a bottom feeder. On the mound, you do have Kyle Gibson for St. Louis making his first start. He was 15-9 last year. And then for San Diego, you have Matt Waldron, who was just 1-3 last year with a 4.35 ERA. So I think the pitching edge goes to St. Louis. Obviously, it's a new year. Things change between seasons, but the line is just so fishy to me. First glance, I was like, ooh, Padres all day long. And then my gambling brain kicked in and said, wait, why is this so fishy? So I'm going to try the Cardinals. This is not an actual bet. I will not be playing this. But yeah, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. And the Padres at like minus 110 seems too good to be true.
Yeah, I was on Ben's on Suns money line plus 111, plus 111. I don't even know who the Suns are playing. What was I going to say? Shoot. Oh yeah, the Cardinals. I was on them last night. I had them first 5 and full game money line. First 5 won, full game they gave up 3 runs, I believe in the 8th, bottom of the 8th, to lose 5-4. They were up 2, 4-2, 3 runs to the Dodgers in the 8th, and then lost 5-4. But the first 5 hit, so I ended up going up barely, 0.1 units, whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they're a terrible team. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. And I don't know how big I am on those California teams. I like fading them just because they're very, very public. So yeah, I don't hate that at all. They let me down last night, but maybe they could use that momentum into today.
Yep.
What else was that? Are you also on that NBA play that guy posted?
I'm not. I might get in on it. Yeah, I think it's 12.5 now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I took it he posted it, and this is the first time ever, and I've only been doing it 4 times now, 4 or 5 times, but I got it at 9.5. So I actually got it a little bit better than he did. But yeah, I'm on the, what is that? The Pacers minus 9.5 tonight is my one actual play. But I don't want to give that out. That's not my original thought. So I wanted to keep my original plays on here, but that is my one play. If that wins, I might jump on that UConn women's with you. Speaking of, the Final Four, we have potentially UConn, and men's and women's. I think we have NC State, men's and women's.
Yep.
So we have, is NC State already confirmed in the Final Four for women's?
Yep.
So they played yesterday, or yeah?
Yep.
Whatever. Okay. Wow, that's definitely never happened. I don't even have to look that up. That's maybe one team. I know UConn's
right done it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean they do it all the time in men's and women's. They went on a massive streak there in the 2000s. So that's pretty crazy though.
Yeah.
And also we have Bama, who's in the football playoff and the Final Four, which is impressive. Same year. Too bad Michigan couldn't get in. Michigan is in the Frozen Four. They lost to State, I think, 3 times this year, and then beat them in the one game that I guess all games
4
matter.
times.
4?
I think they were 1-4.
Wow.
Which I just have to say this. I almost tweeted it. I'm like, whatever. 2 sports matter. Let's just be real. It's basketball and it's football. And all of these, which they're not even accounts I follow. They're just accounts that get blown up onto my Twitter page.
I think I retweeted one of them or something.
All of these Michigan State fan accounts who say all throughout the year before yesterday as a result, football 0-1, basketball 2-0, and then it goes on. Women's softball, bowling, like literally every sport you could think of. Michigan State's like, I don't know, 14-4, something like that. They're bragging about all these sports that honestly no one cares about. And I'm like, this is just like karma. You're trying to brag about all these sports no one cares about just for them to lose in their biggest game to Michigan. I don't know. I don't really care about hockey, obviously, college hockey that is, but I just thought it was funny. That's like these I just don't